Let's get to Patrice Onwuka. She's with the Independent Women's Forum. Great to see you, Patrice. Your take on this: the House passed a measure to roundly condemn an anti-Israel resolution that was co-sponsored by Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar to economically sabotage Israel with boycotts and sanctions. Your take on that?
Well, finally, we have another issue of bipartisanship. Republicans and Democrats resoundingly came together and gave this a sound slapdown, and rightly so. That measure, what Ilhan Omar and the squad wanted to do was, again, to join an international movement that's really anti-Semitic, that's anti-Israel, this divestment movement. And interestingly, you even had moderate Democrats like Nancy Pelosi denouncing the BDS movement. So I think this was a really good example of how far left the squad wants to take the progressive wing, and how, you know, they're saying we're not even willing to go that far.
You know, President Trump right now, he's moving to paint the squad as a face of the Democrats. It could cost them the Jewish vote in 2020. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib voted against the resolution to condemn the anti-Israel BDS movement. AOC also sided with Rashida Tlaib and Omar in this. Patrice, I want your reaction to Rashida Tlaib going so far as to make this shocking comparison, equating her demands to boycott Israel with boycotts of Nazi Germany and apartheid in South Africa. Watch this.
The right to boycott is deeply rooted in the fabric of our country. Americans boycotted Nazi Germany in response to dehumanization, imprisonment, and genocide of Jewish people. In the 1980s, many of us in this very body boycotted South African goods in the fight against apartheid.
Your quick reaction to that?
Oh, it's horrendous. It's horrible. They are cloaking their anti-Semitism in this idea of boycotting and protests, First Amendment right protests. That is not what this is. This is just a blatant move to try to yank our nation in a direction of hating Israel. And you know what? Over half of Americans actually support Israel and are more sympathetic to Israel than they are to the Palestinian movement. So, you know, they can claim it's First Amendment, but that's not what it is.
I want you to take a look at this. Rashida Tlaib and Omar have tweeted on Twitter that their critics should, quote, be deported. Here's Tlaib tweeting in 2015, deport this blank, meaning Trump. And Ilhan Omar tweeted back at a critic opposing her policies in 2012, quote, why don't we deport you to wherever you came from? Your reaction to that?
Oh, boy, isn't it interesting? Tweets never disappear. These same women who've been pretending to be victims over the past week we now find out that they're complicit in using the very same rhetoric and language. I mean, let's leave this whole send people back to where they came from alone. That goes for both sides. And let's actually get at some of the issues that need to be dealt with, like the issue, like the crisis of our southern border. Let's actually see these ladies take up that issue and not use it as a political football for whatever issues they want.
Great to see you, Patrice. Come back soon. Great to have you on.
Will do. Thanks, Liz.
Next up,